cookies or cookies with ginger.
Can I try some?
Well, you must come here, visit us.
Oh, I'd love to try some ginger cookies.
Yeah, it's very delicious.
Very nice. Oh, I'd say, yeah, cookies. Now everyone's baking cookies. It's Christmas time here, so
yeah.
It is.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, thank you. Well,
Maybe.
here they're celebrating it here. It's Christmas. Everything's closed. I'm so not used to, everything being closed. I went out today with my family, just to the park. There was like a really nice park in Manchester, and there were people there. Believe it or not, we had families walking around, and it was actually sunny. And I saw many squirrels, and I took some photos of squirrels. They were very cute. They were light gray, kind of like my jumper, maybe a bit lighter than my jumper. Very, very lovely. And they were not shy. They were, everywhere. It was really cool. So, yeah, I just wasn't used to seeing the streets so quiet. It was good. I wish every day was like that.
Everyone celebrating or preparing to celebrate.
The only thing that was open, actually, the only things that were open were the pubs and the bars, as far as I could see, and some restaurants, and takeaways, but everything else was shut.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a great time. But I believe that is it in the Orthodox Christian faith? It's actually in January, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but the more people in our country prefer to celebrate
both,
or both, or more Catholic.
Really? All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the general trend to divide and separate from Russian Orthodox.
Yeah, church.
Yeah, welcome, Andre. Look, who can explain to me why the difference? Why
it's about calendar. I think Catholic Church using either Gregorian or something like that.
Julian.
And they using Julian, and we Gregorian.
Yes.
Is it to do with the calendar?
Yeah.
The difference in the 14 days, which stay from maybe the end of 19th century.
I see. Well, actually, I'm gonna do a bit of a. I have an article in the last lesson today in the evening. I don't know if you guys are going to be still around or awake, but 10 o'clock Moscow time, I have a special lesson for Christmas, just to see, its origin and how it came about, and so it should be interesting. So if you have time, please join, and you can learn some new vocabulary when it comes to Christmas time here in the UK or in America, and what words are common.
What is your religion?
I'm a Muslim.
Okay.
Yes. You
That's
didn't know.
why. No.
Yeah, actually, my mom, she was a Catholic. She's actually Croatian, and yeah, she's Croatian. My dad's Bosnian originally, and but then my mom became a Muslim later on when she met my dad, and so on and so forth. But she originally was Catholic. So, but back, I'll give a little bit of a history on the Yugoslav. Because I'm sure you know about the Yugoslavia and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So when Yugoslavia was a country, was a nation, it was kind of under the communist regime, right? And religion wasn't really practiced as much. So it was a norm for everyone to just celebrate Christmas, you know. So everyone had a Christmas tree. They all celebrated New Year. Doesn't matter whether you came from a from a Bosnian Muslim background or Croatian Catholic or Serb Orthodox Christian. They all pretty much celebrated it. But then, as things escalated, and there was separation of different states, people kind of went back to their roots, and they, some people just remained, how do I say?
Atheistic.
Yeah, atheistic. Yeah, atheists. And some actually studied a bit more about their faith, or any faith for that matter. This is actually what we did. We were kind of on the I don't know, agnostic belief. We believe there is some great being out there, but we didn't really follow any commands or rules. So eventually, this is when I was very young. I was less than 10. So when I became a teenager and I was living in Australia, I actually studied myself. I researched and I looked at many faiths and different faiths. Actually, the three main ones, and I actually decided to practice Islam, and that's what I've been doing. And my whole family actually decided to do the same thing. Yeah. So, but I have a lot of experience in.
Do you know something about Baha'ism?
Yeah, the Baha'ism.
Yeah, it's very cool religion, because it's absolute of the beauty in all fields of the life. And I was in Israel, in Haifa, where the main temple of the Baha'i placed. It was really impressive for me, because so beautiful place I have never seen in my life. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a mix of Muslim, many religions, but the main is taken from Muslim.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, originally it was a part of Islam, but they kind of deviated, or they went to a different branch, and this Baha'i faith was established. And I think, did it originate from Israel or Iran? Because I've met a lot of Iranians.
I'm not sure, but maybe originally it was in Iran, but after the serious pressure, they moved to Israel, and they bought a place, not so big place, and they founded their something like monastery, and big gardens, and even a small city with underground floors. About 7 levels under the ground they have there. Yeah, and very many people support this religion in different countries. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a very new religion, and as far as I remember, and if you want to read up on it, you can. It's Baha'u'llah or something like this. He was the person that kind of founded this faith. He's from Persia, so Iran, I think. That's where the origin is. And very interesting. Yeah, I have come across, and in Australia there were quite a few Baha'is that I've come across. Very lovely people, very friendly people. So how was your day, guys? What did you get up to? Apart from eating ginger cookies, Alex.
Yeah. Well, I'm just come from work, and this smell, this beautiful, maybe Christmas smell. I remember from this smell from Europe, in Riga, in Tallinn, or in no, I wasn't in Czech Republic in winter, but I remember the taste and smell of ginger cookies. It was delicious. And when I was at home, it waited for me. Very nice.
Very nice. That's really delicious. And I think, Andre, you also like anything to do with ginger, right? I think you recommended last time for me
Yes.
to have ginger in my tea.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I have. It was a very cool day for me today because I was at hospital and my doctor checked my status and he was satisfied because after treatment I had very good dynamics in recovering.
Very good.
And he told me after 2 months I have my health checked again, just for clarification and some nuances which maybe emerge.
So you have completed your treatment?
Practically, yes. Of course, some consequences are still not resolved because, for example, my taste may be returned through the 6 or month or even a year. Yes, it's very depressed thing.
Oh my God! So you won't have any taste for months?
Practically, yes, because when I eat something, I do not feel at all the taste what I'm eating.
Oh wow!
Yes, it's like I don't know.
It's torture, isn't it? It's torture.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, when I'm sick, and I guess when anyone has the flu, and we don't taste the food, it's very, very annoying and displeasing.
Yes.
So I can't imagine myself, not being able to taste food for half a year. Wow. I really envy you. I mean,
yes.
I admire you, sorry, and hopefully when you do get the taste back, you're gonna feel so happy. I can imagine.
I hope for that. Because so many things I love to eat, and now I have no possibility to do it like usual people.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you can have a really, really healthy diet. Sometimes really healthy food sometimes doesn't taste that great. There's certain things that are so good for our bodies, but they don't necessarily taste that nice. Usually all the good stuff is junk or fattening.
Very tasty,
yeah. So in this case, you have no excuse now to go on a healthy diet.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Yeah. All right, guys. Look, maybe we'll get started. I don't know if any more students will join.
Alan, how's your day?
My day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, we went to this park. Oh, here's Ksenia. Hello, Ksenia.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How nice of you to join. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my day was pretty nice. It was very short. When it's winter, the days are so short. 3 o'clock, 3:30 p.m. Here it's getting dark, and then it's sunset. just before 4. So it was a bit sunny today, and my mum and my wife was saying, "Come on, let's go outside. The sun is out." Because here it's always dull and it's cloudy. So as soon as we see a bit of sunshine, we gotta make the most of it. So what happens is that we we went to this park in Manchester, and it was only half an hour drive. And yeah, we stayed there for, I don't know, a couple of hours or so. And then, yeah, we returned. So we had a nice picnic, sort of. Took some coffee with us, you know. Took some photos of squirrels and and the nature and so on. But it was nice. Yeah, it was nice. Hopefully this weekend we are hoping to go to another, I don't know if it's going to be open or not. There's a place called Lake District. I don't know if you know that. Lake District. It's
yeah, I heard about that. It's a very interesting place.
It's kind of northwest, yeah, and it's really, really nice. But I'm not sure if it's going to be open. That's the thing. I heard that it's going to be closed until the 5th of January.
It's like a national park?
Yes, it's like a national park, and I believe it has one of the, or the highest mountain in England. It's a very nice and scenic location. A lot of people go there, and they can do quite a few things there. So fingers crossed. We hopefully the weather behaves. It's supposed to be sunny on Sunday, so I think that's when we'll go there.
I wish you.
Hey,
the good time.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
Yeah, hopefully, because you know it's tough when now it's holiday, everyone is kind of off from work, and as long as the weather is nice and dry, we can go make the most of it. And Ksenia, how are you?
I'm fine. It was a very busy day.
Did you do some baking?
No, I don't have enough time.
Really?
It's just, yeah, it's a very hard time for me. It's time near Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I don't know. And it's busy and a lot of work.
Oh, you have a lot of work as well.
Yes.
Oh. Do you have any plans now? I mean, leading up to New Year? Will you be going
Maybe
anywhere?
I'll go to another city nearby my city for a few days. And I think that's all.
Lovely. Have you got a lot of family near you?
No. No.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Alright guys, let us begin then. So, episode 9. Episode 9 of our, IELTS preparation, yes. So, as always, I'll play the video and you guys take some notes, and we can discuss the video shortly thereafter. Alright, so let's go.
Hello, I'm Margot Politis. Welcome to Study English, IELTS preparation. Today we're going to look at the use of contractions in spoken English. A contraction is like a short form in speech. I've just used 3 examples. I'm for I am, we're for we are, and I've for I have. English speakers often use contractions, so mastering them will help your speech improve. Our story today is about tourists helping scientists study whale sharks off the coast of Western Australia. Listen to this conversation and try to identify the contractions. So what sort of information are you recording in your log?
The latitude and longitude, the depth, the time, sex, and any sort of interaction that the swimmers have with it. The whale sharks don't actually seem to mind the interaction with them, and certainly if it wasn't for them being out here, we wouldn't have the amount of knowledge we do about them.
The difference is, I suppose, with scientific research, you might have a research team here for a week, 2 weeks, and then they leave. They might come here once every few years. But when you've got, well, 6 or 7 whale shark boats here and 3 or 4 in Coral Bay running for 3 or 4 months, then their contribution to research is awesome. They're out here every day.
Did you hear the contractions? The first speaker used 3 of them. Simon said, don't, wasn't, and wouldn't. Listen again.
The whale sharks don't actually seem to mind the interaction with them, and certainly if it wasn't for them being out here, we wouldn't have the amount of knowledge we do about them.
Don't is a contraction of do not. Wasn't is a contraction of was not. Wouldn't is a contraction of would not. These are all examples of a very common style of contraction, a verb and the negative not. Now listen to a tour guide, Steve Gibson, talking about the tourists who help study the whale sharks. He uses another type of contraction. Can you identify it?
The difference is, I suppose, with scientific research, you might have a research team here for a week, 2 weeks, and then they leave. They might come here once every few years. But when you've got, well, 6 or 7 whale shark boats here and 3 or 4 in Coral Bay running for 3 or 4 months, then their contribution to research is awesome. They're out here every day.
Steve says, you've got and they're out. These are contractions of pronouns with the verbs to have and to be. You've is a contraction of you have. There is a contraction of they are. We can also make contractions with nouns and other words. Let's look at a few. My brother's studying. Brothers is a contraction of brother is. Who's going out tonight? Whose is a contraction of who is. There's our bus. Theirs is a contraction of there is. When writing informally, for example in notes or postcards, it's fine to use contractions because they represent spoken language. However, if you are writing formally, do not use contractions. Remember that in formal writing, words that are not in the dictionary should not be used. Finally, let's consider the pronunciation of contractions. Some are stressed and others are not. But just remember, the rules for stressing words can change according to context. Here's a guide. Contractions are stressed when they're formed from nouns, main verbs, and negatives. For example, my brother's studying. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have. Contractions are not stressed when they're formed from pronouns and auxiliary words. For example, Steve says, when you've got boats here, they're out here every day. Notice that contractions cannot occur at the end of a sentence except for the contraction of a verb and not. For example, he's sick. Yes, I know he is. We cannot say, yes, I know he's. But we can say, I'm hurt. No, you aren't. Okay, now we're going to watch the story again. This time, listen for the use of nouns.
So what sort of information are you recording in your log?
The latitude and longitude, the depth, the time, the sex, and any sort of interaction that the swimmers have with it. The whale sharks don't actually seem to mind the interaction with them, and certainly if it wasn't for them being out here, we wouldn't have the amount of knowledge we do about them.
The difference is, I suppose, with scientific research, you might have a research team here for a week, 2 weeks, and then they leave. They might come here once every few years. But when you've got, well, 6 or 7 whale shark boats here and 3 or 4 in Coral Bay running for 3 or 4 months, then their contribution to research is awesome. They're out here every day.
All the speakers use a number of nouns. In English, nouns are either countable or uncountable. That is, we can either count them or we can't. Let's look at countable nouns. Countable nouns are generally things like people, a teacher, a cook, a swimmer. Animals, a dog, a cat, a whale shark. Plants, a lily, a bush, a tree. Objects, a chair, a table, a boat. Units of measurement, a litre, a dollar, a cup. Uncountable nouns are generally more abstract and include things such as languages, Chinese, Japanese, German. Emotions, happiness, sadness, anger. Ideas, intelligence, luck, knowledge. Substances or materials like air, oil or rice. Countable nouns have two forms. They can be singular or plural. But uncountable nouns have only one form and cannot form a plural. Let's have a look at that. Chair can be singular or plural. Chairs. It is a specific concrete thing, so it is a countable noun. We can say, I would like to buy 3 chairs. However, furniture is an abstract noun. It has only one form and cannot be made into a plural. It is an uncountable noun. We can say, I would like to buy all that furniture. Using a word like all indicates quantity or amount. Listen to how Simon Stevens measures knowledge in this clip.
The whale sharks don't actually seem to mind the interaction with them, and certainly if it wasn't for them being out here, we wouldn't have the amount of knowledge we do about them.
He says an amount of knowledge. Knowledge is an uncountable noun. It can't be counted. We haven't got a specific number we can apply to define a quantity of knowledge. We use quantity words or measure words with uncountable nouns instead of numbers. We say an amount of knowledge, a cup of tea, a loaf of bread, a degree of happiness, a measure of luck, or a gust of wind. Okay, so today we've looked at different types of contractions and how they are stressed in phrases. And we looked at countable and uncountable nouns. If you would like to watch today's story again, look at some study notes or do some exercises, you can go to our website anytime. It's at abcasiapacific.com/study English. That's all for today. I'll see you next time on Study English. Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, my dear students. So, please give me your summary of this video. Okay, let's start. Ladies first. Xenia.
Okay. The topic was about contractions. There are 3 types of contractions. First type, it's verb plus not, negative word. It's for example, don't, do not, wasn't, was not, wouldn't, would not. Second type, it's pronoun plus to have or to be. They aren't, they are not, for example. The third type, it's noun plus verb, brothers, or something like this. When we write a formal letter, we shouldn't use contractions, but when we use in informal speech, we should use it. So it's something about stress. We should stress this word when it means nouns, main verbs or negatives, and without stress when it's when it is pronoun or auxiliary word. And later she said about noun, it can be count or uncount. Count its people, animal, plants, objects, and it can be single or plural. If it's plural, we should use s in the end of word. And uncountable, it's about language, ideas, emotions, and other. And it's only one form without s, and we use a quantity or measured word with uncountable nouns. That's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Ksenia. That was brilliantly done, I have to say, very detailed. Okay, well done. All right, Andre, give us your summary of the video.
Ksenia doesn't doesn't leave anything to say.
She didn't leave you anything to say.
Okay.
Maybe try to reword it into your own summary.
Yeah. There were two topics in this video. The first one was devoted to contractions in different forms. Usually, contractions used in spoken form of language, and rarely or specifically in informal type of writings. The typical contraction is used for auxiliary verbs and not, like don't, wasn't, haven't, and so on. Also, contractions may be used with pronoun and verbs to be and well, I forgot. Okay, with to be, like I am, you aren't, and so on. And the third type of contractions. Sorry, I forgot.
That's fine.
Well, the second part of topic was about what? Okay. About different types of nouns.
That's right.
Countable and uncountable. The main divisions are objects and subjects which can be quantified and can have two forms, plural and singular. And the other part of such nouns is uncountable nouns, usually connected with ideas, concepts, or for example, ideas which we can't to count. For example, water, oil, and so on.
Yes, very good.
When we use uncountable nouns, we can use additional words for like quantifiers. For example, amount of knowledge, or a cup of water, or a bottle of oil, and so on. In this situation, it's like a trick when we can count additional words, but leave other uncountable words without changes.
Yes.
That's all.
All right, that was good. Well done. Thank you, Andre. Well put. You've used your own words there. Very good. Okay, Alexander.
So we've listened, or we watched a video about contractions, like I'm, we are, we're, I've, and so on. So informal speech or letters, we couldn't use it because informal speech or letters only words from dictionary are used, and it's like common thing, I think. So they are stressed when we were using nouns, main verbs, negative, and not stressed when we are talking the pronouns and actions. No, I don't get it. That's all for the contractions, I think. And about nouns, there are countable and uncountables. So for countables, it's something we can count, obviously, like people, animals, furniture, like table, a chair, and so on. And uncountable, like languages, emotions, ideas, materials, etc. And in uncountable form, there can only be singular, and with countable there can be singular and plural form of speech. That's all.
That was good. Thank you very much, Alex. All right. Okay, guys, so let's have a look at the PDF and we'll get this party going, yeah? So, yeah, is this the one? Yes, so contractions, as you all mentioned, you know, it's common in everyday English, yeah? Not so in formal writing, yeah? So in informal speech and informal writing, it's common. And like most of you said, you know, when we're doing a writing of some importance, we don't use the contractions. Now, I think all of this is very, very familiar to you, so I'm not gonna dwell on it for too much. Identifying contractions. Yeah, they are formed with auxiliary verbs, as you know, be, have, and do, and modal auxiliaries, including can, could, might, shall, should, will, would, ought, must, and semi-modal, need. They are also formed with irregular verbs, like be, have, and do, when they are not auxiliary verbs. So here we have the different kinds. So they are traveling in China. The weather's cold. Where's the party? Here's the book. If it's negative, we say she won't be attending the meeting, or John can't have the car tomorrow. Fairly straightforward, nothing alien to you. So let's move on to the next part. Yeah, so here is a list of contracted forms. So the irregular verbs, we have the forms on the left, contractions in the middle, and the negative contractions on the right. So very straightforward, guys. Yeah, I am becomes I'm. You know, third person singular, he's, she's, it's. And with nouns, we just add apostrophe s, so friends, Jacks. With question words, where's, yeah, a negative isn't, and so on. Yeah, with other, we can say you are, they are, and again with nouns, friends are, sisters are, here are, there are. Okay, when it comes to past tense, we just have the negative. So wasn't and weren't. Okay. Then we have the have, and so obviously with singular, it's going to be yeah, he's, as in he has this time, not he is. Yeah. And you have, or I have. Yeah, Americans do use ain't. It's very common. Not so much in the British, but that's also very informal to say ain't. Okay. Yes, I don't think any of this is unfamiliar to you. Okay, so moving on to do. We only have the negative contraction when it comes to do, so doesn't or don't, and the past would be didn't, regardless if it's singular or plural. Okay, so moving on. Here are the modals. So will, we say I'll, as in I will, you'll, you will, he'll, he will, she'll, it'll, will, they'll. Okay, I want to hear you guys pronounce these, just to make sure we're on the same page. Ksenia, could you please pronounce these for me?
I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, they'll.
Good. Andre?
The same. I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, they'll.
Very good. The most problematic that, you know, probably is this one, but so far both of you have said it correctly. Yeah. All right, Alex?
I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, they'll.
Excellent. Perfect. Well done, guys. All right, and then we have apostrophe, or the contraction with nouns. So friendle, Jimmel. Sounds very strange. And
Yeah.
It's not very common, to tell the truth. Or there'll, yeah. It's a big tongue twister, and it's not very common. This one is who'll come with me. You know, this is all right. You can, you know, you can hear that quite often. And then the negative contractions won't, very common, and yeah, he won't be coming, for example. Then we have would. Singular and plural, we say I'd, you'd, he'd, she'd, it'd, we'd, they'd. Here we have to throw in a syllable in between. Yeah.
It'd. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it'd. Yeah. Very good. And then the same with the nouns. Friendsed. This is not common. Sallied. You know, grammatically it's there, but it's not common. Yeah. I'm sure you've never ever heard this before.
No.
Yeah, it's very strange to be speaking like that, but you know, it's common. I mean, it's there in the grammar. Question: Where'd he go? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, it's also common when it comes to the where had he gone, for example. But in this case, it's would. Where'd you like to go? Where would you like to go, for example? And then the negative wouldn't, which is very common. Then we have some other modals: can, could, might, shall, should, ought, must, need. So can't, can't. See here, it tells you the Australian, North American, and the British pronunciation. So can't, is the American. Can't, British, and Australian. All right. Cannot. Okay, cannot would be the negative. Couldn't, mightn't, shan't, shouldn't, oughtn't, mustn't, needn't. Yeah. So some of these aren't very common, but most are. Yeah. And yeah, here's a summary of question and other words which are commonly contracted. So what's, when's, who's, where's, how's, what'll, when'll, who'll, where'll, how, who'd, here's, there's, that's. Okay, and there'll, that'll. Now the stress in contractions, as you've pointed out, yeah, so in spoken English, the following type of contraction is unstressed. These contractions are pronounced shorter and quicker, and therefore sometimes difficult to hear. It's an important aspect of casual conversational English. Okay, so we have these. Is he upset? Yes, he is. So you can look at these. So when an auxiliary verb is stressed at the end of a sentence or clause, contractions cannot be formed. And Margot Polite has already mentioned that. So we can't say, yes, he's, or yes, I'm, yes, I am, yes, he is. Okay. And finally, the other type of contraction can be stressed. These are auxiliary verbs in negative contractions, which can, in distinction, be stressed at the end of sentences or clauses. So negatives are stressed in English, and so a contraction containing a negative is usually stressed. You won't be sitting the test. You were late today. No, I wasn't. Okay. But this is all pretty familiar to you guys. I think you are above this level. So any questions?
For me, no.
No? I think it's straightforward. Lovely. So let's begin our activities. I'll give you the link for this. Not that. Those activities. Okay, so where are we? Okay, here we go. So we have 3 activities. Hopefully we can complete at least 2 of them. So the first activity, form and write in the correct contraction using the infinitive verb in brackets. So you can just tell me, obviously you don't have to write it all up. Okay, so form and write, or form the correct contraction using the infinitive verb in brackets. Alex, you can start.
So as you can see, the streets are filled with people celebrating the rugby win.
Good. So the correct auxiliary is are. So how would you contract?
Stress are stress.
Yeah, streets apostrophe re. Yeah, so streets.
Yeah.
Streets are filled.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost. It's pretty much like saying streets are filled, but it's kind of quicker and you know to say it together. So the streets are filled. Yeah, excellent. All right, next one.
Okay.
Does she speak Mandarin? No, she does not. She doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't. Very good. So the contraction will be she doesn't. Excellent. Xenia.
The travel plans won't be late. Won't be delayed.
Won't be delayed. Yeah. So WON apostrophe T. Very good. All right, Alex, number 4.
They put a deposit on the account, but the owner changed his mind. They've put a deposit on the home, but the owner changed his mind about selling.
Okay. Should it be past, perhaps?
They'd. Yeah.
So if it's past, they had put a deposit in the home, but the owner changed his mind about selling. So they'd
put a deposit on the same.
Yeah, so you have to understand the sentence and figure out whether it's past, or present or future.
It's past perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, this is past perfect. Perfect. Next one.
Jane not going to the party because she hasn't been invited. Jane doesn't go into the party because she hasn't been invited. Okay. Jane, I suppose it's past. Past simple or past continuous. Jane didn't go into the party because she hasn't been invited.
I have to disagree.
Yeah.
It's not actually. That's not going to be the one.
Okay, present continuous.
Okay.
Jane doesn't go into the party.
No, it was doesn't. It's B. Was.
Jane. Okay, wasn't. Yeah. Yes. Jane wasn't going. Yes.
Okay. Jane wasn't going to the party because she hasn't been invited.
No, really isn't. No.
Yeah, try to keep it present in this case. So we can say Jane isn't going, or what's the contraction with Jane?
Jane's not going.
Excellent.
But it's really strange.
Jane's not going. Jane's not going to the party. This is actually the most common. Yeah. So Jane is not going. So Jane's not going to the party because she hasn't been invited. All right. A bit tricky, this one. Okay. Number 6.
Did you say there would be a test tomorrow? Yes?
In this case, it's will, not would.
So we should stay will there.
Yep.
They'll.
Yeah. So there'll. Did you say there'll be a test tomorrow? So there apostrophe double L. Yeah. Okay. 7. Alex.
Boys have gone on the excursion. The boys were gone on the excursion. I know I have problem with times. So.
Don't think about it too much.
The boys have gone. The boys gone on the excursion.
Yeah. So it's present perfect, right? The boys have gone on excursion. Boys have gone on the excursion. So apostrophe VE.
V, yeah.
Yeah. The boys have gone. Excellent. 8.
We missed the train because we'd slept in. It's V apostrophe D. Because
excellent. Yes, because?
Because it's past perfect.
Very good. So yeah, we'd We'd slept in. We had slept in.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Excellent. Andre. Ksenia?
They might go hiking.
Hiking.
Hiking because of the weather. Might.
Sorry, they
might.
They mightn't.
Might.
Yeah, you have the correct one, just your pronunciation was a little bit off. So they mightn't.
Mightn't.
Yeah, excellent, perfect. That was well pronounced. This is not very easy, especially if you're sick and you have a flu, because this requires you to kind of pronounce it.
Might.
Yeah, so they mightn't. You know, the actual NT comes out of your nose. That you actually speak through your nose. Yeah. All right, excellent. And the last one?
His brothers are fighting again. No, they are not. Or they aren't.
Excellent. No, they aren't. Yeah, very good. Well done. That was good, guys. Good practice there. Okay, the second one, we'll have 2 minutes. Let's see if we can do a few of these. So match the questions on the left with an appropriate answer on the right. And practice pronouncing the contractions, obviously. So the first one is already done for us. Let me zoom out a little bit. Yeah, so how's the weather? Don't know. I haven't been out.
Okay. When they're going.
Smaller.
I have to, so you can see all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the largest I can go. So second one, whose turn is it?
Maybe Andre.
Maybe me. When are they going? Okay.
Maybe the last one.
Maybe 10. They got to be an airport by 5.
Yes. That's the one. Yeah, so the pronunciation for this again?
When are they going?
Excellent.
When are they going?
When are? Just say when are. When are they going?
When are they going?
When are they going? See, the British and Australian, the R is not stressed. So when are they going?
When are they going? Okay.
They've got to be at the airport by 5 p.m.
They've got.
Excellent. All right, next one, Sonia.
Who's that man? He is my English teacher.
Excellent. Who is that man? He's my English teacher. Yeah. Nice and easy. Okay. 4.
Weren't you out jogging? No, I've just started.
No.
No. I'll come by this afternoon, maybe.
No.
I couldn't find my running shoes.
That's it. That's the clue. Yeah. Running shoes. So, weren't you out jogging?
Yeah.
I couldn't find my running shoes. Yeah, very good. Okay, Andre?
What have you been doing? I've been studying for my science test.
Very good. Pronounce this one again for me.
What have you been doing?
What have you been doing? What have
you been doing? Okay.
Yeah. You see, some of these, when it comes to the apostrophe, VE, or some of the contractions, there are different pronunciations depending on the word before.
Alan, as I see, we need to place between T and V something like schwa sound.
Yes, a syllable goes in between. Yes. What of. So what have you been doing?
What have you been doing? What have you been doing?
Excellent. Very good. Okay, Ksenia, the last one, and then we'll have to wrap it up.
When will I see you again? I'll come by this afternoon.
Excellent. Yeah. So when'll I see you again? When'll I see you again? When'll I see you again? When'll. So it's a transition of your tongue. Yeah. Your tongue stays connected to the top of your mouth. When'll. All you're doing is you kind of, you know, doing like a dance move with your tongue. Yeah, it's very tricky, but it's not that difficult, I think. All right, guys, I shall give you the link for this as well. There you go. You can click on it, download it, and finish this activity for me, please. And then do the next activity as well in your spare time. It's good practice for you, and you have the answers on the last page. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All clear? No questions?
No. See you in an hour.
Yeah, see you later. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm looking forward to it, guys. All right, take care. I'm gonna go and eat.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bon appetit.
Thank you very much. Likewise, if you're having dinner.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.